Hi guys, welcome back. It's Mrs. Peterson, that lady who teaches art, and today we are going to continue our 1 point perspective aquarium. So if you are not to this point, please go back and watch video 1 on this 1 point perspective project. But if you're to this point, we're gonna go to our next thing on our list. Number 9 says the horizon line where the ocean floor will be. So you're gonna need your ruler as your tool again. And this one is gonna be really easy. I'm gonna line up with the bottom of that back area. I'm just sliding my ruler in line right here. And then to make sure that it is flat across, I'm going to line up the side right here so that I don't see any white. And I'm right on the edge. And then there's my line for the ground. So that will create the floor right there of the ocean, or in my aquarium, I guess. Now we're going to sketch plants and animals. Remember, they are going to be bigger near the edge of the paper and smaller near the middle of the paper. So I'm going to use some of these reference photos, and each table is going to have a set of things to look at. Remember, anything in that outside is going to be bigger, and as they get back, they need to be smaller. So if I have a sea turtle out here, it's going to be bigger, and the same sea turtle is going to be much smaller near the back. Okay, so I'm going to start from the bottom, knowing that this little triangle, this slanty triangle right here, is the floor, and I definitely want some coral growing out of that. So I'm going to draw a piece of coral that's going to grow out of the bottom there. And over here, I think I'm going to draw some seaweed. It's definitely going to be bigger on the outside. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a couple of plants. I don't want to take all of your time. So remember, if it's on this side here, near the outside, it's going to be big. And I'm going to have some overlapping by having this fish just pop out right here. It's going to be a little clownfish. And then the same, if it's the same fish way back here, it's going to be much. Okay. So you can see this one's smaller, this one's bigger. You can do the same thing with sea turtles or whatever else you want to create. So you're going to add more, but I'm going to stop there just so I don't waste all your time. Now we're going to color the rectangle in the back with a black. Don't color hard. It should look kind of gray. So I forgot to grab a black colored pencil. So you can definitely do that, or you can just use your regular pencil because it needs to be gray anyway. And we're just going to shade in this back here, because down this hallway it's going to be black. Color pencil doesn't blend very well with my finger, but if you use your regular pencil, I could blend that graphite just by using my finger. Do that. And then if you get out of the lines like I do, just hit it with a ruler or an eraser when you're done, excuse me. Okay, so I've got that part done. Number 11. Number 12 says color the ground brown or tan. So I'm going to start on the outside, and I'm going to go around my animals. It's going to be darkest in this first layer. And I'm going to color all the way down here. So all this is going to be that sandy bottom of the aquarium. I want to go carefully around my sea animals and my sea plants. So the next one, I'm going to color a little bit lighter. Still pretty dark. Definitely not as dark as that last one. Okay, and the next panel is going to be even lighter. Still using my brown and filling in that triangle. And then even lighter, because it goes back in space, gets grayer, and even lighter. This one might need to just be a little bit darker so it looks darker than those. Okay, so now you can see that it gets lighter as it goes back. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom over here. when I'm done with my floor up to that line, and if you don't want the line to be like perfectly straight like that, you could add little rocky texture to the top. Just remember those textures are going to, those bumps are going to be bigger near the front, and they're going to get much smaller at the back. If you wanted it to have just a little more of a bump there, you sure could. All right, so cross that off. I'm not going to do the other side, but you're going to. Number 13 says, color the water blue. Go around the plants and the animals, darker on the edge and lighter towards the middle. So again, you're going to start with your blue, and this whole area and all the way around the top, and it's going to come all the way over to the side too, is going to be the darkest shade. And then each panel going back is going to be lighter, and make sure you go around those animals. So I'm going to show you one where I have that finished. So you can see it's darker, and then each panel just got a little bit lighter going back. Okay, that's what you're going to do with your blue. So pause and do that now. And this one too, if you want to add some yellow to lighten up your brown, you sure can, going back. Do your water. When you're done with your water, you're going to color the ocean plants and animals with color pencil. So over here I have some coral, and I may want to get rid of this line through there because you would not see that horizon line. This would be in front of that, but you would see these panels in the window pane, so I'm going to leave those. This is a little bright for coral, but it'll work for today. You're going to go and color all of your animals. Remember, you're going to push harder and have more intense color on the edge. So like this fish right here is going to be more intensely colored, and this one back here is going to be lighter in color. Can have the same color. I can use the exact same pencil. I'm just not going to push as intensely. Okay, finish all of your plant life and animal life. So even these over here, the ones back here are going to be lighter. The ones out here are going to be darker. Okay, finish all of that. Then you're going to choose one or two colors to do a checkerboard pattern on the floor. So let's say that I wanted to use this green. I'm going to go really dark on the edge, and checkerboard means like this one, and then I'm going to skip one. And you could do green, blue, or I can just use green, white. It might depend on how much time you have too, if you're running out of time. So then I'd go really intensely here. And you're going to color this really nicely. I'll show you a finished one in just a second. And as you go back, you're going to get lighter. So this next row, if this one was green, this one's going to be white. This one, I'm not going to color quite as dark. Going back. Because things get grayer in the distance. Okay. And then each one's just going to get lighter and lighter. You're going to finish these and color them in nicely. I'm just going to show you the checkerboard pattern really quick and how much lighter they get at the end. Okay, so here's one that I did the checkerboard pattern. You can see how dark it is and light it gets going back. And here's one. Again, I didn't quite finish it all the way. I didn't want to take the time to do that, but you can see that that first row is much darker and it gets lighter. Make sure you follow that checkerboard pattern. You can do it, like I said, with one color in white or with two colors if you want to. If you're completely out of time, I may tell you, oh, we're not doing any color on your floor. Number 16 says sign it with the bottom right-hand corner. So on this one, I could sign it. I'm going to write my first name, last initial, and then my class. I could sign it right there in that yellow one. On this one, I have a white chunk right there. And then the last thing it says on my list to do is turn it into the 4th grade tray. So that's up on the bookshelf at the front of my room if you're one of my students. All right, you guys, I can't wait to